Monday morning. It's a little bit after 6 a.m. and I'm going on my walk. This is what I do every morning. Well, almost every morning, except for Sunday. Sunday is my day to sleep in. But I've thought of a lot of different exercise things I could do, and I don't really like most of them. I can do them, but it's not something I might get super excited about. But walking in the hills, walking along the canal, out in the mountains, that's something I get super excited about doing every day. So that's what I do. From about 6 to 8 every morning, get up, take a morning walk through the hills, through the mountains. Well, actually, I'm not going to go up into the mountain. It's a little bit far away. But I will walk up in the hills, along the canal. This is my walkie-talkie time with Jesus. I walk and we talk. I can talk about things that are bothering me, things that I don't like, and he just listens to me and helps me work through my problems. But haven't been having a lot of problems lately, mostly just inspiration. So most of our walkie-talkies are just kind of like a download. Information and ideas, things that make me happy, and having a lot of good ideas about homeschooling coming lately. Because we are going to homeschool. We are going to be a homeschool family this year because things are getting kind of crazy in the country, and I'm not quite sure what they're going to be doing in schools. We have a fantastic school. Teachers are fantastic. Principals fantastic. Except the governor, well, I don't really know him personally, so I don't know if he's fantastic or not. But he's made some kind of crazy rules. Like, kids have to wear a mask all day long. Well, if you were wearing a mask all day long, could you breathe? I don't think so. I don't think that's good for your brain. You need oxygen, you know. Everybody needs oxygen. See? That's why I'm out here walking. Good country, fresh air, oxygen to the brain. Breathing good, wholesome, fresh air. Well, you see all these plants around here? Well, they need carbon dioxide. But you know what we need? We need oxygen. So it's really good to be around a lot of plants. And it's really good for them to be around us. Because we breathe out carbon dioxide and they breathe in oxygen. But I don't really want to breathe in my carbon dioxide all day long. Because that's not for me. That's for them. And their oxygen, well, that's for me. So imagine a little teeny brain that's just forming, that's just growing, breathing in the wrong kind of air all day long. I don't think it's good for them. I go to the store, almost everybody is wearing a mask. Can you believe that? Almost everybody is wearing a mask. I'm looking around looking, why is everybody wearing a mask? This looks kind of creepy. I thought I lived in America. But I think we're not America anymore. It's pretty creepy. Nobody smiles at me at the grocery store anymore. Nobody looks at me. And they just take their little cart, shuttle right by me. Once in a while, I go up to Ridley's and I see one of my neighbors and they are not wearing a mask. And I get to talk to them. And I love talking to my neighbors. So, anyway, back to the mask situation. I just don't buy into the whole thing. Nope, I just don't. Gotta breathe. Gotta breathe lots of oxygen every day. You know what? When people have a hard time breathing, do you know what they give them? They give them oxygen. Yeah, they give them oxygen. Not carbon dioxide. If someone's sick, they don't give them carbon dioxide. They give them oxygen. Yeah. So if you're worried about getting sick, or if you are sick, you don't need more carbon dioxide. You need more oxygen, and you can't get that wearing your little mask. Because you breathe out carbon dioxide. That stuff your body doesn't need anymore. It's trying to get rid of it, so it breathes it out. And the little plants around you, they're like, oh, I love this carbon dioxide. That's just what I need. And they breathe out oxygen. Like, that's why it smells so good when you go outside. Look at this. Can you see that behind me? The farmer has just cut the hay. It's pretty exciting. See all these plants around me? We got hay and grass and trees, bushes. All that oxygen for my brain. So if my adult brain needs oxygen, so I don't end up in the hospital, what about those little teeny brains of developing children? I think they need oxygen too. So, anyway, back to our governor. The kids have to wear masks to school all day long. You cannot breathe for 8 hours. Your brain is not gonna do well. And the dermatologist, well, they're getting kids in that have rashes on their face. We are not made to wear masks. We have an immune system. That immune system is meant to keep us healthy, not masks. See, we're supposed to breathe in lots of germs. They're not really germs. We don't have to like be a germaphobe. We just need to breathe in lots of things, like even dirt. Don't breathe in dirt. I mean, not intentionally or anything like that, but like you go to the garden, you pick a carrot, got a little dirt on it, no big deal. It's good for you. I always say, little kids, by the time they're 2, if they're left to their own natural self, without mom being paranoid over things, they'll eat about 2 pounds of dirt. Guess what? That's the way it should be. They'll put things in their mouth. They'll eat something. I remember when I was little, sitting under the tree with my spoon, eating dirt. That's normal. Because you know their immune systems, they're just like beginning to grow and thrive. And all that stuff in their bodies helping their immune system. And I've noticed that. I'm not like a scientist per se, but I do have 11 children. And I notice if I just let them do what they do naturally, they're a lot healthier. But I've seen some people that are washing and sanitizing their hands all the time. And their little kids' hands or their hands. Those kids are like always sick. I'm like, what's the deal? You're washing and sanitizing and keeping them away from the dirt. And your kids are sick. What if you just let your kids be kids? And let Mother Nature and God do its thing? Novel idea. Maybe God is smarter than us? Imagine that. And maybe Mother Nature really does know what she's doing. Maybe like people have been living on this planet for thousands of years. Doing pretty fine. Because we got an immune system. We're taking in all this stuff from the outside, being exposed to all this stuff. Our little bodies see a foreign particle, build up the antibodies to it, and then we're stronger. But if we don't want to get exposed to anything, we're just like a couch potato sitting on the couch, not exercising our muscles. See, that's why I go on a walk. Gotta exercise my muscles. Because now I'm a grandma. And I don't really want a grandma body. But, you know, we sit around more as grandmas. So I gotta go and walk. It's the same thing as my immune system. I've got to exercise it. And I can't exercise it if I'm not breathing in your germs. No. So, next time you see me, please share your germs with me. I would love that. You know what? And I'd love to give you a big hug. Because I need your germs so I can be strong and healthy. And now is a great time because I got vitamin D from the sun. Got all this good oxygen coming in because we can open our windows and let the fresh air in. Yeah. I need your germs. So, this idea of mask, not a good one for me. No, not at all. Some of our stores are even saying you're supposed to wear a mask in the stores. I'm like, so if people want to die from the lack of oxygen and breathing their own stinky air, well, that's their prerogative. They can go right ahead. Yep. People have the right to die if they want to. But I don't think it's a good idea. Just because the media tells you something doesn't mean it's true. You gotta use your own common sense. Yes, you gotta use your own common sense. And look around. I don't know anyone that's dying right now of COVID. No, I don't. But you know what? Come November, people are going to start getting sick again. You know why? Not because they take off their mask. It's because it's cold and flu season. Every year, lots of people get the cold and the flu. And that's normal. We got all of our windows shut up. It's cold. We're going in between heat and cold. We're not getting out and getting some vitamin D. And then we got Thanksgiving and Christmas. We're eating all sorts of crappy food. No wonder people get sick. But that's normal. That's the way things have been happening for a long time. So we gotta like build up our immune systems, eat well, take the nutrition we need, get outside. We can even walk in the winter, get some sunshine. But anyway, so it's coming back, and it comes back every year. For my whole life, it's been here every year, from about November to April. People get sick, you start coughing and wheezing and blowing their nose. It's normal. And we used to not freak out about it. No, we did not freak out about it. We were just like, oh, if you're sick, why don't you just stay home, get better, come back. But all the healthy people didn't walk around with masks because there's a sick person at home. No, we didn't do that. Even sick people didn't wear masks. Just use like common sense, and if you need a cough, don't like cough all over people. Just like cough in your sleeve or something like that. Yeah. And guess what? Most of the time, it was old people that were dying. Because that's what happens when you get old, you die. It's really nice for some of them to just move on to the next place. They're sick anyway, from like your body wears out. After you've been like living for like 60, 70, 80, 90 years old, your body just wears out. It's been kicking and pumping for a long time. So, when you're old, you die. And you know what? There's a lot more babies being born every day than people dying. That's a good thing, because we love babies and we love our grandmas and grandpas. But like, I think my mom might have like died of the common cold. She had the cold, she was coughing, and she died in her sleep at the age of 86. Yeah, I miss my mom. That's pretty normal to die at the age of 86. My aunt just died before COVID came along. My aunt died at the age of 94 of pneumonia. Well, that's pretty normal. Because I heard it once said that pneumonia is an old person's friend. Just kind of helps them move to the next place. But we get pneumonia, colds, flus every year. And if you look at the stats, it's the old people that mostly die. But that makes sense. Old people die and babies are born. Imagine that. We don't have like babies dying and old people staying alive. I've never seen that in the history of the world, except in America, where we kill babies before they are even born. That's not normal. It is normal for old people to die. And it should be normal for us to allow all the babies to live. That's how life works. Babies are born, old people die. And it's normal. It's a circle of life. Yeah. Okay, so back to our governor. He's not as bad as some governors, but it doesn't really matter if you're just not as bad as some. It's still pretty bad that the kids have to wear a mask all day long. Now, can you imagine what that's going to look like? They're going to be switching masks. They're going to be dropping their mask on the ground. I'm sure they're not going to wash their mask every day. And they're going to be breathing their own dirty air all day long. And probably like if they need to sneeze, well, you can't sneeze in one of those things. So you gotta pull your mask down so you can sneeze, or so that you can talk, and then put it up. Doesn't make sense to me. Doesn't make sense at all. Okay, we sell water filters that filter out like bacteria and like all these harmful contaminants. They don't filter out viruses. No, they don't filter out viruses. Viruses are too small. At least that's what they say. And so, gotta watch where I'm going here. Don't trip over the pipe. Okay, so this thick, silver impregnated, activated charcoal, ceramic water filter won't filter out a virus. And there's no holes in it, there's no gaps in it, won't filter out a virus. So when you put on a mask, it's like putting up a chain link fence and trying to keep the mosquitoes out of your yard. I don't think that's gonna work. Mosquitoes are very, very tiny. Chain link fence, well, it might keep the rabbits out, but it's not gonna keep the mosquitoes out. No. No. Doesn't make sense to me. Except when I go to the grocery store, it looks pretty freaky. Kind of looks like everyone just put a muzzle on. And nobody wants to say anything about it. They heard it on the media. And the media surely has our best interest in mind. And everyone does it. Like, how is that? Like, we're supposed to think for ourselves. We're supposed to, like, look at the situation and make our own decisions. But no. I never saw anyone wear a mask except one of my neighbors who had cancer and chemo. I'd see her wearing a mask during cold and flu season. Totally get it. She knew she was immune compromised, and she took care of the situation. She was a nurse and knew what to do. That makes sense. But except for her, I never saw people wearing a mask until the media and the news and the governor told people to wear a mask. Well, if they told you to wear a mask, like even some churches are telling people to wear a mask. What business is that of a church to tell people to wear a mask? Like I say, we have got a crazy world. Oh, so glad they cut the hay. Because it was getting pretty tall here. And now I can actually walk without being waist high in alfalfa. Isn't that beautiful? Look at that. All that beautiful hay for the cows. Okay, so where were we? Can't remember. Yeah. People, you really got to start thinking for yourself, or you're going to be in a heck of a mess. Yeah, real heck of a mess. Because if they say, everyone jump off the cliff, or everyone go get toilet paper, are you going to do it? No, go get toilet paper when you need toilet paper. Go jump off a cliff when you're wanting to jump off a cliff, like when we're at the dam and there's water below. Yeah, jumping off the cliff is a good idea. No, but not jump off a cliff when there's rocks below it, no water, and you don't even know where you're going. Oh, everyone's jumping. I want to jump too. No, go look where you're jumping before you jump. And if it looks safe and fun, then jump off a cliff. But don't just jump off a cliff because everyone else is jumping off a cliff. It's not a smart idea. Okay, another thing about school is one of the reasons I send my children to school is because the teachers are fantastic, and the principal, she's amazing. She just has all this positive energy. She's always happy, all these great quotes around the hall, and my children love it. In fact, little Belinda says, I go to school because it's like my entertainment. I mean, you go to her teacher's classroom, it's like something always is super exciting going on. Yeah, she's fantastic. Okay, but now you put my little girls 6 feet apart from anyone with a mask on their face. They can't even touch each other at recess. No, that is not good socialization. They've got to see faces. We've got to see expressions. We do more talking with our faces than we almost do with our mouths. Someone could have their mouth shut and they can communicate very clearly with their face and with their bodies. Yeah, it's not normal. And I don't want my children growing up thinking that's normal, because it's not. And I tell them it is not normal. So that when they go to the grocery store and see everybody, they know that's not normal. And that's just people not thinking and just listening to the news and believing everything they're told. Well, maybe they don't believe everything they're told. They only believe things that are told to them a lot. You could have one truth that's told to you one time, but if you have a lie that's told to you a lot, you think it's true. Weird. It's really weird. I just can't imagine children like raised in that environment. Like, what kind of adults are they gonna be? Like, afraid of everybody. They don't want to socialize. We're already so socially distanced because we got phones and text. We don't just go talk to our neighbor over the fence like they did in the old days. I've seen like people in the same room text each other. Like, why don't they just go over and talk to them? We are already socially distanced because of all this media, Facebook. Don't get me wrong, I do have Facebook. Texting, all this stuff. Like, in the olden days, like when I was a little girl, I didn't ever think I would say that, but we didn't have all of that. If you wanted to talk to someone, you just had to go talk to them. Yeah, we had the telephone, but there's like one telephone for the whole family, and it was hooked to a wall. So if someone was using the telephone and you wanted to talk to someone, you just need to go talk to them. If you wanted to go play with our friend, we'd go knock on their door and say, can we play? And we talk to our neighbor. So we're already socially distanced. And people are lonely. and people are sad. Yeah, people are sad. They don't have a friend. And they sit alone at their house and they don't have a friend. Some of them don't have much family or people that care about them. And then their one time to go out and meet this face of a stranger that might give them a smile or say hello to them, we tell them, put on a mask. Stay away from everyone. You might get germs that will build your immune system. We don't want your immune system to be strong. We want your immune system to be weak. Yes, we want your immune system to be weak. So put on a mask. Stay away from people. Don't hug them. Don't touch them. Don't shake their hand. Don't exchange any germs because your immune system might actually work. Do something about it. Be strong. But be a couch potato. Put on your mask. Make your immune system weak. Yes, make it weak. So that when something serious does come along, you'll be so weak, your immune system will not know how to work. It's like taking a couch potato, someone that eats potato chips, sits by their TV and watches TV all day, and then says, okay, we're gonna run the Ironman stepped in a hole. We're gonna run an Ironman today. Okay, get up, let's go. They are not going to be able to run an Ironman. You do not train for an Ironman race by sitting on the couch. No. And you do not help your immune system get strong by wearing a mask. No. It's not good for your health. Do you think if I say that like 100 more times, then you'll believe that? Or maybe like 1,000 times? Or maybe if I put it on the news? Or maybe if I have someone that's all dressed up in nice clothes say it from TV, that you'll believe that? Wearing a mask is not healthy. For you, for your children, for your grandma, unless of course you know you've got some major immune problems and you're already weak. Maybe you're already sitting on the couch and can't get up because your immune system is so weak. Yeah, it might be good for people like that because they're already in a compromised position. You're not gonna give them more than they can handle. But normal people, healthy people, people that are getting up, walking around, they can handle it. Yeah. So there you go. Can you imagine elementary children not touching each other at recess? Even in talking to the principal, I don't think she knows how that's going to happen. She's like, we're going to do our best. And it's not her choice. It's not the teacher's choice. They're like amazing people. So it's not their fault that they have to do all of these regulations. They're good teachers. And I really like them. But you know what? They're not going to be able to keep children away from each other unless they put them in cages like they did at the Super Bowl grand opening ceremony. Yeah, that's not good. No. Children in cages? No. Not a good message to send. No. I'm walking up the hill now. That's why I'm huffing and puffing. I don't go up steep mountains, but I'm working on it. Every day I get up and huff and puff. I'm working on my muscles. I'm working on my immune system. Yeah. I huff and puff long enough and do it often enough, I'll be strong next mountain I climb. Yep. I'm already getting a lot better. Okay. So that's kind of it. That's kind of why we're homeschooling this year. And you know, if I lived in California and New York, I'd have to homeschool. It's pretty normal to homeschool now. But I've homeschooled before. I've done private school. I've done homeschool. I've done charter school. Sometimes I've even tried that unschooling way when things have been super stressful, like having a baby. It's sick all day long. Yeah. So I've tried about all of it. Public school, that's what we've been in this year, and lots of years. You know, like every child is different. Every family is different, and there's not really a wrong way to do schooling. It doesn't matter if you're homeschooling, unschooling, charter schooling, public schooling, private schooling, online schooling, hiring a private tutor. None of those are wrong. I went to a little homeschool thing in the park. There was a mom speaking and I really liked what she said. She's like, there's a million ways to school your children right, but you might want to know what it looks like to school them wrong. 2 rules. If it's destroying your relationship with your child, that's not good schooling. And if it's destroying the love of learning for your child, not good schooling. Nope. Not good. Your relationship with your child is number 1. And that they love to learn is number 2. If your child is loving to learn and you guys and your relationship is getting stronger and better, you're doing it all right. And it doesn't matter what you're doing. It doesn't matter if you're sending them to school or if you're keeping them at home. If they love to learn, like my little guys did in the public school, they loved it. So I sent them. They were excited to go to school every day. It was their entertainment. Yeah. There's a lot of ways to do it right. But I talked to him. I says, okay, these are the rules. This is what's going to happen this year. Do you want to homeschool? Or do you want to go back to public school? And they all said they wanted to homeschool this year. Even our 13-year-old Joseph loves to go to junior high and see his friends. But even the 13-year-old can see it's not going to be like it used to be. And he wants to homeschool too. In fact, he wants to learn how to make YouTube videos. So he's going to be my cameraman some of the time and my editor some of the time. because that's what he wants to do. And he's going to learn a lot doing what he wants to do. And we're going to have fun. We're going to share them with you. They might not always be the most professional. It's okay. We're having fun. If you can look past that, well, we ask you to join with us in our homeschool and everything we're learning about life. Yep, we'd like you to come along. Come along with us and share your ideas too, because I'm sure you've got some amazing ideas. Yeah, so my kids, they want to homeschool this year. I'm super excited because I like my kids. And it'll be fun. In fact, see, I have got 11 children from ages 26 down to 6. But I'm just going to be homeschooling the 4 youngest because they're still in school. And yeah, it's going to be fun. I don't even have a baby in diapers while I'm homeschooling. That will be different. That still works too. We'll talk about that later. So let's talk about homeschooling mom. What does a homeschooling mom need? Well, she needs to recharge her own battery and fill up her own bucket. That's super important. Well, first of all, she needs to take care of herself. This isn't a selfish thing. This is so that she's ready to go and be her best for her children. Yep, you got to be your best because you're teaching them how to be adults and you want to be really good adults. So for me, I take a morning walk along the canal, up through the hills, and about 2 hours. See, I don't even have my phone with me, so nobody can get a hold of me. That's kind of nice. I just get to think. Like today I'm talking to myself, but most of the times I just get to think. And I really like Jesus. Jesus is a good friend. And I've sometimes come up to these hills when I've been so steaming mad about something, and I just talk. I talk and I talk for sometimes over an hour and a half. I finally vent and rage and just have someone to listen to me that's not going to get caught up in their own stuff and their own garbage and their own crap. Yeah, someone that can just listen to me without getting offended. It's hard for us humans to do, is not get offended when someone else is having a hard time. It's really hard. It's really hard for me. So I don't blame anybody for not wanting to listen to all my garbage. But you know what, Jesus? He's got it handled. Yeah. Jesus. Jesus can just listen. It's not offended. Doesn't get all weird when I'm weird or when I'm mad. Remember one day I was walking, just ranting and raving about something I didn't like that somebody was doing. After about an hour and a half, I'm like, so what do you think? You've been kind of quiet today. Jesus says, oh, I'm just listening. I'm like, who's willing to listen for an hour and a half and not say anything? Not me. Nope, I just want to jump right in, fix the problem. But Jesus didn't do that. Just listened. And then after I was done, he gave me gentle words. Help me understand the situation. Help me understand myself. Help me be at peace again. So I could come home and be a healthy neighbor, a healthy adult, healthy mom, a healthy community member. Yeah. Yep. That's what Jesus does. He helps us. Who wouldn't like somebody that's always helping? I feel like it's a little one-sided sometimes. But I do my best to do what he asked me to too, but Jesus always does more for me than I do for him. He blesses my life. I have a wonderful husband, 11 children. Wonderful children. Yeah, I got food. I got a place to live. I'm happy. I'm at peace in my heart. Yeah. I got these beautiful hills to walk in. Yeah, Jesus gives me air to breathe. Isn't that amazing? It keeps air on this earth so we can breathe. And he gives me oxygen. Yep, oxygen. And he gives the plants carbon dioxide. Like, there's so many things. I don't even think I could even start to name them. Jesus is always giving. But people don't really believe him. I don't know why. Maybe because the TV is louder. Yeah, maybe because the TV is louder. Maybe because of Jesus is, most of the time, his voice is pretty soft. Yep. Pretty soft voice. Voice of reason. So anyways, when I walk, I talk with Jesus. Every day. 2 hours. That's a lot. 2 hours a day. Still talk to him during the day at home. But sometimes a lot of other people are talking to me. And it's harder to focus. I have 2 hours, just Jesus and I, walking in the hills. Yep. It's always different. It's always unique. We don't say the same thing every day, like, thank you for all my blessings, blessed everything will be great, and goodbye. No, we don't say that every day. We talk about different stuff. We talk about what's going on in the world. Talk about what's going on in my life. Once in a while, I even ask Jesus what's going on in his life. You know? Good friends don't always talk about themselves. Most of the time, it's about me. I call my walkie-talkies with Jesus. Yeah. I walk, we talk. He's probably walking right here by me today. You can't see him, but he's here. So that's what this homeschool mom. And by the way, we are always a homeschool mom, even if our children are going someplace else to get educated. Because moms and dads are in charge of their children's education. Even though my children were going to public school, I was still a homeschool mom. Yep. Because I'm in charge of their education while they're young. It's my job. It's my responsibility. I'm so grateful for good teachers that help me do my job. Really grateful. It's my job. That's what moms are for and dads are for. So, yeah, this homeschool mom, she needs time by herself. She needs time to talk to her teacher, her guide. She needs to be taught because she doesn't know everything. Yeah, I don't know everything. I don't know a lot of things. But Jesus knows everything. And Jesus can talk to me. Jesus does talk to me and teaches me things I need to know. Very good teacher. Very good teacher. Very good guide. Very good friend. Yep. Yep. So, Mom needs this morning walk. Yep. Mom needs to walk and talk so I can be charged and full of good energy when I get back to school. Yeah. When I get back to school with my children, because actually homeschool never stops. It goes 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Sometimes we do things a little bit more formal, like sit down and learn something together, but someone's always learning something at home, for good or for bad. Sometimes they're learning how to fight, and sometimes they're learning how to love, but they're always learning something. Yep. So when I go home and I meet my little ones, and they come up and, can we start homeschool? Can we start homeschool? I gotta be in a good mood. Yeah. Because if I'm in a bad mood, which I've been in plenty of those, my day goes awful. And everyone else's days goes awful. We might as well have not even got out of bed. No, we want to practice good habits. And one of the good habits is being in a good mood. So, Jesus helps with that. Helps teach me. Helps me work through my problems. And helps give me inspiration. Yes. On these walks, I get a lot of inspiration. All these ideas come to me. Usually more than I can do at homeschool, but I got a whole bag of things I can do. So I never run out of curriculum. Yeah. It's Jesus's curriculum. And that's interesting. That's exciting. That's fun. That's adventurous. And it's uniquely tailored for my family. If yours is going to be different because you got a different family, you've got different children, you've got different circumstances, you live in a different place, you know different things. Yeah, your homeschools look very different from mine. But Jesus helps with the curriculum. In fact, he sets the curriculum if we let him. And he leads us to a life of joy and happiness and peace. But I gotta tell you, there's still some really good things out there that can help you. Like there's other people's curriculums that Jesus might say, hey, that would be a good curriculum for your family. That would really work well for you. Or this curriculum will work really good for you. Or this curriculum will work very good for you. Like, so some of the work that other people have done, Jesus might tell you, like, that would be so good for your family right now. Might not be good for your family for 10 years. Might do something new next year, next month. But Jesus will help you with that. Help you pick how you want to do this. What your family needs. Yeah. Jesus will help you. So this year, like every year it's different. So we might go back and talk about some of the things we've done in the past. But we'll just talk about this year right now because that's right here. So this year, a friend of mine was telling me about this charter school called Harmony. And they want to make sure that you're teaching your children and stuff like that. So I'm doing the basics. So every, I think, couple weeks you fill out some worksheets of the things you've been learning. She said it doesn't take a lot of time, especially if you've been teaching your children. And then they give you like $1,800 for the whole year to do things that you want to do with your children. So some of that money goes towards those flex worksheets, like $50 I think a year. It's like $150. Language arts, science, and math. But that's $1,650 to use to do all sorts of things. Like you could take gymnastics lessons, martial arts lessons, horseback riding lessons, swimming lessons. You could do all of that kind of stuff. If you needed to buy a microscope or maybe a camera because you want to do YouTube channels, or a telescope, or equipment that you need, memberships, if you want to get a membership to a museum, or the aquarium, or the history museum, or the national parks, art supplies, books on Amazon. They'll even do Legos because Legos are super good for kids and teaching them things. And teaching them how to build and create and help their minds. Yeah, lots of stuff. I don't think they'll do cooking supplies because we don't want to turn this into someone's grocery bill. I don't think they do like bikes or trampolines or basketball standards. That's kind of pushing the envelope. There's so many things that we could do if we had money designated for that purpose. And we kind of take a strain off the school too. You know, with all these 6 feet apart desks, you might not want so many children there. So, yeah. I just found out about this charter school. Super excited about it. I wish I would have known about it a long time ago. Actually, I did know about it. I just didn't know they did that part. Because they do a lot of parts. My children went to Williamsburg and they paid the tuition for Williamsburg, which is a great online school with kind of like the Thomas Jefferson approach to education. So they did that a few years ago, my older children. But I didn't know like I could just fill out a worksheet with my younger children every other week about the things we've been learning. And they would let me do all of these cool things with money that they would provide. Like I could use them for math manipulatives. Yeah. I think even like a sewing machine, like if you want to teach your kids to sew, hey, you could do a sewing machine. So, yeah, yarn, I guess, if you want to learn how to crochet or knit, that's kind of an old skill. Not a lot of people know how to do that. Yeah, so we're going to do the charter school this year. Super excited about it. Yeah, like that gets your creative juices going. Like, okay, if I had $200 a month per child, like that's $50 a week. You know, like there's 4 weeks in a month for those kids that are watching this. No. If I had $50 a week to help me teach my children, I could do a lot with that. Yeah, I could do a lot with that. And I have 4 or 5 children in homeschool. That's like $250 a week That's like $50 a day. Wow. I never spent that much money on homeschool. So this is kind of going to be a new experience for me, but I'm excited. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm really glad that someone shared that with me because I didn't know about it. So that's what we're going to do this year. We're going to homeschool. We're going to have fun. In fact, we started last week. I know it's only July. We started on July 23rd or something like that. But we are really excited, so we don't need to like wait until a certain day. Because remember, homeschool is every day, all day long, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, in every home. And you're teaching your children something, or you're sending them away to learn something. So you are always homeschooling. So we wanted to start like the formal part of homeschooling, like where mom actually sits down and we say, oh, we're going to homeschool now. That part. And Emma and Belinda, those are the two youngest, they are super good readers. They can read faster than I can. I was sitting behind Emma reading a book, and I got to the top of page 2, and she already turned the page on me. Like, how's that? How's like a little first or second grader reading faster than her mom? Well, I'm not like a super fast reader, but I do know how to read. But was tripped there. I'm looking at the camera, I'm not looking at the trail. So, sorry. So how does she learn how to read faster than I do? After 11 kids, I finally figured it out. By a lot of trial and error. And doing some things that worked, and some things that worked better. But this was the one that worked best for our family. When they were about 6 months, 18 months old, somewhere in between there, I started them on the signing time videos. And even though they're not deaf, it's really good for children to learn a second language. It helps stimulate the language center of their brain. And so we don't do a lot of TV and stuff like that at our house. Just like on Friday nights, they can watch TV or movies or things like that. So during the week, signing times was like, hey, we get to watch something on the screen. And they loved them. They learned how to sign. They learned how to communicate when they were young. I knew what they were saying. They weren't frustrated speaking to me. And we started talking through sign language because they can do the signs much easier than they can do moving their mouth when they're little. It's just easier for them. And then when they were about 18 months-ish, 1 year, I mean, some of these things kind of overlap. I started them on the preschool prep videos. And I was trained in Spalding, and I really like that system. A little bit dry, but I really like the phonograms. And so I looked at all the different programs, or a lot of them, I shouldn't say all of them. I looked at a lot of different programs, and I really like the preschool prep because it's like they taught all the sounds of the letters, like a, ah, or things like that. And so I'm like, it most closely aligned with the way I thought children should be taught phonograms. So I just let them start watching these videos. And I think it's like $40 on Amazon for like 10 DVDs. And they probably have them downloaded by now, but this was like a while back, and I had them in DVDs. And so the little girls, they learned all their phonograms just by watching super fun videos. And then when they were about 2 years old, I got them Starfall membership, where they would be able to go and play little reading games and math games and stuff like that on Starfall. And they could explore the website, and they could do the same thing over and over and over and over again. That would kind of bore me, but it didn't bore them because they were learning. And they like to repeat and repeat and repeat and repeat. Read the same book over and over and over again. Sometimes moms like to do that, sometimes they don't. But Starfall, they could just do anything they wanted. It's an amazing program. Nonprofit organization. I think it's like $35 a year, and then if you renew, it's like $30 a year. So super cheap. And they did that. By the time, before they were 3 years old, they were reading fluently. And I didn't have to do a lot because I am super busy. I've got 11 children. We run a business. We have a big garden, and a lot of landscaping that we need to take care of. I got a lot of things to do. And I have my own interests too that I pursue. Because it's really important that mom's excited about learning and learning new things. So, like, I know they tell you you're supposed to sit down and read with your children every day, so long. Like, I'm just not very good at that. Because I don't have that many hours in the day. So, I would just sit down and read with them every so often. I'm like, oh my gosh, these guys are learning to read. And they're amazing readers. And look how easy it is for me. I just did signing times, preschool prep, and Starfall. And they are reading fluently before the age of 3. Now that's the time to teach children to read. Not when they're in kindergarten. It works okay when they're in kindergarten. I mean, that's when most of us learn to read. But like, I've noticed something different with these girls. Like I say, they can read faster than me. Even Belinda, just getting out of kindergarten, her 24-year-old sister says, Emily says, I think Belinda's reading faster than me. She just keeps turning those pages so fast, and she's laughing and she's giggling and she's comprehending the story. And it's because they learned to read when they were little, when their brain was wired to learn language. Yeah. Yep, super important, super beneficial. Like, I think because they learn to read when they're so little, and I didn't teach it to them for sure because I don't know it, but because they learned to read when they were so young, they turn into speed readers. I can't even go to the library and we only get 10 books at a time. Then we have to go and reserve them online and then go back and pick up our books. So I get like 10 books at a time. If we're running errands or something like that in town, like they have all their books read almost by the time we get home, and then we have to go back and get some more. Like, they're super fast. So anyway, why did I tell you that story? I was going to tell you something else. And that was just a little piece of information. Anyways, I went down some rabbit hole, forgot where I was going. So, oh, I know what I was going to tell you. So anyway, Emma thinks she's read every interesting book in our home library and has no more interesting books to read. Well, one of my favorite books when I was younger was Where the Red Fern Grows. And so we've had that old book in our library for quite some time, just kind of tucked back away. And I brought it out. And we started homeschool reading Where the Red Fern Grows. And I read the first 3 chapters. I might read that for you sometime too. I read the first 3 chapters. And then I'm like, okay, we're gonna do something else. And she's like, no, you can't stop at the best place. I don't even know if he's gonna get his puppies. We're just to the point where he's gonna find out if he's gonna get his puppies. So, I'm like, well, I can see that I might need to hide this book because I know Emma, she will go and take the book and read the whole thing tonight or that night, I think it's Thursday night, and then she'll already know what it's all about when I read it to Belinda and Marianne. So I had to hide the book so she didn't go and take it and get ahead of us, because that's the type of girl that she will be. She reads everything and she's very fast. And she's very interested in the story, so I have to hide the book till tomorrow. That was Friday. So anyways, that's been fun. We started reading. Now I kind of got on a slow start. Normally homeschool, we're looking at mom sitting down with the kids for like 4 hours every day, 9 o'clock-ish to 1 o'clock. But you know, sometimes things interrupt. Like Thursday, Marianne hurt her eye with an exercise rubber band. So that's why we just sat and read while she kept an ice pack on her eye. But Friday, we started again with the Redfern Groves, and they're so excited to start school. Like, okay, the house needs to be clean. We can't have all these messes all over the place. And so they're motivated to get the house cleaned up so that we can start homeschooling. So anyways, they got all cleaned up, all the messes, and they like to make messes because they're very creative. So we have projects all over our house, almost all of the time. So, but Mom, I mean, I don't think they really care, but I like things to be somewhat clean. I'm not like OCD. I used to be more OCD, but about cleanliness, but 11 children have kind of cured me of that. I'd go insane if I was super picky. So anyways, they got everything cleaned up. I got everything checked off, and we sat down and read the next few chapters. I thought, maybe we should write something about it now. So you don't have to write always the same thing. There's like a lot of things you can do to write about it. But the idea came to ask some questions. What are some questions you'd ask them about this chapter to someone else who was reading it? And so they got to come up with their own questions. Emma and Marianne did 3 questions each for Thursday and 3 questions for Friday. But Belinda, she's just 6, so she's very smart, but she doesn't write quite as fast. And so she just had to do 1 question. And they came up with really good questions. Like even Belinda came up with really good questions. I'll post them down below and you can see them. And they were worried about like, well, what if someone else takes my question? Like, are you really going to run out of questions when you just read 3 chapters? It says, if you just be quiet and don't tell anyone your question, nobody's going to take your question from you. And guess what? I was right. They all had different questions. But if they're talking out loud and saying all their questions and they're like, oh, that's a good question, I'll write that down too. And then they're worried about someone stealing their question. So we solved that problem by just being quiet and writing down our questions. Now another idea came into my mind. It's like, well, maybe we should also work on their handwriting. Yes, their handwriting. I don't have very good handwriting, but if I really think about it, I know how to form my letters correctly. So my handwriting isn't the best. So even Mom can work on this one. And so I just says, okay, today when we write our questions, we're just going to work on putting everything on the baseline. Yep, everything on the baseline, so that it makes our handwriting look a lot better. We don't have floating letters. We don't have letters going down below. Just have everything written in one nice little row. Makes our handwriting look better. They were so proud of their handwriting. Like, hey, Mom, look at this. And hey, Mom, look at this. And hey, look at how good I did here. And I could see Marianne. She's already got pretty good handwriting. And it was easy for her to write all of her letters on one baseline and then the next baseline to just like keep it on the line. So for her, I said, now I want you to practice on making all of your letters the same size. So we don't want to start big and then go little. Just trying to keep them all the same size all the way along. So like you can kind of give some extra challenges if you see that one of your activities is too easy for one of your children, like your 6th grader, but maybe challenging your kindergartner or your 1st grader, and just about right for your 3rd grader. You know, they're all different ages. So you can kind of adjust it, and that's what we needed to do, because Marianne needed more handwriting challenge, because keeping on the baseline was too easy for her. Not so easy for me. I still had to think about it. But she's got better handwriting than me, I guess. So, well, she does. So anyways, we did that for a little while. Wrote our questions. I was the last one to get my questions written. I wrote my questions too. And then they would ask me questions like, Mom, how do you spell this? And Mom, how do you spell that? Well, not this and that. They know how to spell this and that, but so they would ask me how to spell opossum, how to spell Ozark, how to spell blurry, how to spell whatever it was that they didn't know how to spell. And then we just open up their folder to the last page, their notebook. You know, those cheap spiral notebooks that you can get for 25 cents this time of year. And I just say, okay, this is your dictionary. Every word that you don't know, we'll just write it in your dictionary. Well, Marianne was super excited about that. She wanted all of our words, even the words she'd been asking me that week in her dictionary. Emma did not want the words in her dictionary. She's like, I don't need it in my dictionary because now I know how to spell it because you told me. And so Marianne had more words in her dictionary because Emma, she didn't think that was a good idea. She didn't want to have a dictionary of words she already knew how to spell because I told her how to spell it. So it's okay. Emma doesn't have to have a big dictionary. I'm like not married to the idea. I just thought, oh, they might want to look back and see all the words they asked, or maybe spell them again if they forgot. So, you know, they want to do something different. Marianne wants to have a big dictionary. Emma doesn't want to have hardly any words in her dictionary because it makes her think that she doesn't know how to spell them when she does now. It's okay. It's fine. They can do it different. We don't have to do the same thing with every child, even if we're in the same room. And Belinda was just happy to do whatever that mattered to her. So, yeah, so anyways, we did that for a while. And then they came up with this idea that maybe every Friday they should have a treat. Not a big treat, Mom, because I would probably just eat them all. But my friend gave me a whole bunch of chocolate bars. And so I'm like, oh yeah, you guys can all have a chocolate bar. But when I took them out of the package, I'm like, oh my goodness, these chocolate bars would be the best fraction lesson because they're like long and skinny and have 4 sections. So we just started talking about that and having them divide them in halves and fourths. And of course the older girls, they already know a lot about fractions. And Belinda, who just got out of kindergarten, knows a little. But then we would do addition problems and like take, so it's 5/8 plus 3/4 plus 7/2 or whatever. I can't remember all the problems. And then they would need to put them together and reduce them and come up with a final answer. Now that's a fun way to learn fractions. And then we got to eat the fractions. Well, they did. I'm off chocolate right now because I love it too much. So they got to eat the fractions kit. And that was fun. Maybe I'll do a lesson on that sometime and show you what we did. We took a few pictures of them and of some of our problems that we came up with. And then it was over. That was homeschool on Friday. We had super fun. We all loved it. And then we just went and did our thing. And you know what? They just kept on doing homeschool. They kept reading their books. They have all their art supplies all over the storage room. It's like, I just cleaned the storage room out, so there's just, well, actually Jaylee helped me clean the storage out room, so it's like has a lot of space. Well, they've turned that into their creative, messy craft place. So there's stuff everywhere. But yeah, that's okay. It's okay. They create, make dioramas, make all these presents for Christmas. They're just having fun creating. It's fun to create. So they just continue doing that. And they do things outside, and jump on the trampoline, and climb the monkey bars, climb the trees. Like PE's pretty natural. Little kids, pretty natural to do PE. You're not sitting in front of the TV too much. And then on Friday night, we get movie night. Yay! I really don't like movie night because, I don't know. I used to love movies. And if it's a really good movie, I still like to do that once in a while. But I got so many other things I'm interested in that real life is really more interesting than movies. But my kids, they like movie night. They like to go and pick whatever they want. Most of the time they like to watch YouTubes. And what do they watch? They watch other families doing normal, everyday things. That's so funny. You just like to see kids doing normal things. They get on all these YouTube families, or they watch someone playing with Legos, or they watch some little fairy movie or whatever. So the boys, they want to watch about motorbikes and how to put things together. And Joseph is super interested in Teslas. So all I hear about is Teslas. That's what he wants. He's 13 years old, but he's saving for a Tesla. On Sunday, we had a friend come over that had a Tesla. Gave him a ride. That was super fun. So, for him, thanks. So anyway, that's our homeschool. 2 days. 2 days of homeschool. And today is another day. They're actually with my oldest son and his wife today. So we won't be doing mom homeschool, but I'm sure they're learning something. They get to play with their nephew, and they get to go swimming, and they get to do things with Jared and Kenzie and Ammon. So yeah, every day's different. Oh, on Saturday, Glenda was so cute. She comes up to me, and we're like cleaning up after guests and doing all sorts of laundry and washing sheets and towels and making beds and all that kind of stuff. But Belinda comes up to me and she says, "Mom, can we do homeschool today?" I'm like, well, maybe. But we really didn't get to it because we had a lot of cleaning to do. But you know what? Saturday's our day to clean. Yeah, that's homeschool. You know, because you got to clean your house. Like, we kind of straighten up and stuff like that during the week. But like that deep cleaning, they all have a job. And even April came over and helped me. She's married. So she came over and helped me clean. I hire her to come in and help me clean. It's a win-win situation because it helps her out, earn a little extra money, and it helps Mom because April's way faster at cleaning than I am. They'll know about this. Like, you think you're the mom and you're teaching them, but when your kids get to be way better at you, like my little kids are way faster readers. April is she's way faster at cleaning. She can clean circles around me. So I really like her help, and I don't mind paying her to do it. So anyway, Saturday was our cleaning day. Cleaned all day long, made beds, cleaned our house, cleaned up after guests, everything. Saturdays are cleaning day. Sunday, we had a whole bunch of company over, had a great time, learned some new things from someone that gave a little presentation that was super interesting. Just enjoy being with friends. Yeah. Eating, talking, laughing. Yeah, being social. Yeah, being social. It's good to get a few of us together and be social. It's good. It's normal. Gave a lot of hugs, and guess what? I didn't even get COVID. Didn't even get COVID when I gave him a hug. And you know what? If I did get COVID, I really don't care. I really don't care. Because I've had bad flus and bad colds before, and I'm still living. I'm still ticking. So just keep my body healthy, take my walks, breathe my oxygen. Yep. Yep. So there we go. Beautiful day. Look at that. Sun's just coming through the clouds. It's been kind of overcast, which felt really nice. So thanks for coming along with me. Thanks for listening. Hope it's helpful as you come up with your ideas. As you listen to your heart. Listen to the voice of reason. Listen to Jesus. You're gonna have an amazing year too. Yeah, we're all gonna have an amazing year. Like, you know what? I might not like the mask thing and some of the crazy stuff that's going on. But you know what I really like about COVID? Is that families are coming home and they're being together. Yeah, it's kind of a silver lining in the whole thing. Like, did I say before? I think I said before. California and New York all get to homeschool this year. Yay, California! Yay, New York! Give a shout out to them. All these kids get to come home and be with mom and dad and learn from their parents. It's gonna be so good for them. So good for them. And then there's a lot of people all over the nation that are coming home. And that's gonna be so good for the nation. Yeah. Moms and dads teaching their children. That's gonna be good for us. So do a good job. Have fun. Learn something. Learn something new. That's really important for you as a parent, is to learn something new, because then you're excited about learning. And when you're excited about learning, your kids get excited about learning. They're like, learning is fun. I want to do what mom and dad are doing. I want to learn. Yeah. Learn to, you know what? I went up to Portland. I went up to Portland in June and I took a shoemaking class. I made my own shoes. I made the pattern, I cut out the leather, and I made my own shoes. Most of the time I just buy my shoes at the store. But those shoes, they like cost me $500 for those pairs of shoes, because that's how much the class cost. But like, you know, that was super interesting. I can make my own shoes. So expensive shoes, $500 shoes. They fit my foot perfectly. The pattern was made to fit my foot. Maybe I'll do a YouTube on that too sometime, because that was super interesting. So moms and dads need to be learning something new all of the time. Don't want to get old and have our brain forget about learning. I don't know, maybe that's why you get dementia or Alzheimer's. If you stop exercising your muscles, your brains are meant to work. Just like your bodies are meant to work. Your bodies are meant to exercise. Your immune system is meant to exercise. So you need to go to the gym and get germs so your body can exercise. Don't give your body more germs than it can handle, though. Just give it a little bit every day and you'll do just great. Eat healthy food and breathe oxygen every day. Good, healthy oxygen. Get out in the sun and get vitamin D. See, wear shirts like this. Get lots of vitamin D on your skin. Yeah. Exercise your brains. Learn something new. You don't want anything on your body get mushy and soft. Not your brain, not your body, and not your immune system. Don't let anything get mushy and soft. Keep exercising it. Keep giving it some resistance so that you can stay strong and healthy and get stronger and healthier. Yeah, that's what we're meant to do. That's the way Mother Nature does it. That's the way it was designed. We were designed with an immune system. It's a very powerful system in our body. So use it and expose yourself to other people. It's good for you. It's good for them. And most of all, it's good for your soul. We're social beings. We want to be with people. We want to talk to people. We want to hug people. We want to touch people. And that's good for us. We don't want to be lonely and isolated and cold and distant and skeptical, suspicious. Oh, she came closer than 6 feet. Oh no, I might get COVID. Like, oh my goodness, I don't understand that. I don't understand that at all. And I would prefer my grocery cart just to be my grocery cart. You don't need to sanitize it for me. I can just pick up one in the parking lot and bring it right in. I'm sure those people have some really good germs. It's going to help my immune system. Yep. I think they really do have some good germs for me. Thank you. So, have a happy day. Smile. Give as many people a hug as possible. Open your mouth. Share your ideas. Be with your family. Be with your friends. Follow your inspirations. Follow your heart. And have a happy, happy day. God bless.